Hello and welcome to the Gooner Talk, back again with you guys for another show, another episode of our preview series looking ahead to Arsenal's game tomorrow night against Liverpool. The reason why I delayed the show to today was so that we could obviously get more information, which didn't come because Mikel Arteta has decided to completely just eradicate the idea of team news. Remember those articles that we used to get on the Arsenal website that would be like the latest Arsenal team news? They may as well upload those now with just the words, "we don't even know." So that's where we're at right now, is we don't know the status of plenty of Arsenal's players, but we're still going to look ahead to the game and we're going to try and predict. We'll give our desired lineups as well, always with the help of some of our members from the chat box. Speaking of which, Don, thank you so much, mate, for becoming a brand new member on the channel. Really appreciate your support, and I'm sure the chat box will give you a very warm welcome as well. Without further ado, though, let's bring in our members for today's show. First of all, it's the sexy bald man himself. It's Vinny. You all right, Matt? You all right, pal? You doing good? Doing well?
Yeah, very good. And I think this is going to be a really interesting preview show because for once, although they haven't given us much knowledge about who's playing, I think we know from the players that are out, it's going to be very interesting team selections as to how we get around having one fit central midfielder.
Yes, having seen the lads' predictions, or not predictions, but their desired lineups, I'm intrigued to see their reasoning behind some of the choices. Speaking of which, Sasha, how you doing, mate? You good? You well?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm doing good. I'm hoping for some even better news over here.
Oh, he's
Bring
got a
me,
Fiorentina shirt.
yeah, bring me Flower Beach, and it's all good.
I'm gonna have to do that. I've got mine somewhere that I'll try and find. No, good to have on the show, mate. Fantastic stuff. I don't know why you got Harry Kane in the background though. It's a bit weird. The lion.
That's Emil Smith Rowe.
It is just Emil Smith Rowe. Do you remember that time where Harry Kane tried to define himself as a lion? I mean, yeah, ridiculous. Anyway, let's move on to our fourth guest. And Lewis joins us. How you doing, mate? You good? You well?
I'm good. Glad to be back.
Lovely stuff, man. Lovely stuff. How's I think this is the first show you've been on in 2022. Was it a good New Year?
Yeah, it was a great New Year. Yeah, really well. Yeah, what did I do for New Year? Yeah, it was pretty cool, pretty chill to be fair. But yeah, really good Christmas time, really enjoyable. And I was there on New Year's Day, so yeah, on that great performance but terrible result. So I was actually there. So yeah, it was a bit of a shame, but great day and great watch the Arsenal.
Absolutely, yes. Nearly got a result that day. It would have been a lot better if we have done on New Year's Day, but I think the performance was certainly something we could get behind. And hopefully, going into these games against the likes of Liverpool, we can use that to buoy us forward, give us a bit of buoyancy and encouragement and momentum. However, there's always breaking news before we do these shows, and there's been a little bit of breaking news because The Athletic has reported, Vinny, that the FA are looking into a yellow card shown to an Arsenal player over suspicious betting activity. Now, for the record, we don't know who that player is. The Athletics say they know who it is, but are not releasing the identity of that player. I'm not going to ask any of you who you think it is, because that would be ridiculous. But what this can be is that these can turn into very serious things. We've seen players banned for as many as 6 years in the past. Kieran Trippier was indirectly involved in one of these situations and received a ban as well. Vinny, it's a serious situation, one that we hope isn't going to affect Arsenal's players. But what was your kind of initial reaction to the news?
Granit Xhaka and his booking, which is...
It's not Granit Xhaka. We don't know it's Granit Xhaka. It's just all allegedly, we don't know who it is.
I think it's just a common sense bet that Xhaka's going to get a booking. So I don't see why it's a dodgy bet. 65k on Xhaka to get a booking, if that is the case, which they're talking about. I just think it's crazy. You can bet on anything these days, and I don't know what to think of it, really. If someone has done something a bit dodgy, I think they're an idiot, because what's 65k when you're paid 100k a week to risk something like that?
Yeah, obviously the side story to this is around other people putting bets on and whether information is leaked through. And, interestingly, supposedly the Athletic removed the line about the referee not being considered a suspect, if you like, in this criminal investigation. Go on, Vinny.
At least it weren't a pie eating. That was brilliant.
That's a nostalgic throwback. That is. Jesus.
Oh wow,
that's Sutton United's goalkeeper, wasn't it? I can't remember his name. I know Mike knows him, but yeah, unbelievable. Already that was. Anyway, I do want to kind of get back to football, and I feel like I've unfairly put that on you, Vinny. So just kind of how you're feeling about Liverpool tomorrow. Tell me where your head's at.
I'm excited. I think we were brilliant when we lost Xhaka due to his stupidity on that challenge the other week, and we defended like lions. And it's actually hard to pick the team for this week, because I was umming and ahhing about whether we should go with a back five because of how well we defended and how good we looked on the counter with one missing player. But no, I'm excited. I think it's gutting that we don't have a solid central midfield to attack them with, but I think we've got a really good chance in the game, and we really need the crowd to get behind the boys as well and really back them. But apart from a central midfielder missing, we've got our strongest team, hopefully.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a fairly strong team. I mean, we don't really know the specifics, but I mean, if you get players like Smith Rowe, Tomiyasu back, I mean, Gabriel, we know came back in during the game, or was meant to be back for the North London derby, but him being back is going to be really good for us. I look forward, Sasha, to seeing the lineup, but are you worried that Arteta's kind of coy way of approaching the questions to the team news may mean that we have some nasty surprises in the lineup tomorrow?
I hope not. I hope it's some brilliant mind games, because there's always news coming out before a big game that someone on the opposite team is injured, and then they play against us. For example, in the Europa League final, N'Golo Kante is injured. They have problems. Whatever they come, Kante plays, and they have no issues. So hopefully, this one is like that from Arteta's side. And I'm very excited for the game. We've been doing really well. I've just watched that episode of Ted Lasso where we're at Wembley. So I'm really hoping we go to Wembley again this year. So I'm buzzing. I really hope we can win this, and I think we will. I think we will win.
I ashamedly need to say that I've still not watched Ted Lasso yet. It's not because I don't want to. I just haven't got round to it yet. I need to. And it's bad when like my other half saying, I hear Ted Lasso is really good. Shall we watch? I'm like, yeah, we absolutely should watch it. But I just haven't had, it's been so busy. And to be fair, there's been other programs that have been out that I wanted to watch, like Afterlife that came out, which is great. And if you haven't watched Afterlife, go and watch it. It's a brilliant program. Lewis, back to the football. It's a game in which Vinny's already discussed there about how you set up, because we're still without Partey, who thankfully will be coming back earlier than expected. We're going to be without Granit Xhaka. Lokonga looks to be the only available natural senior central midfielder. Would you be tempted to throw a young Charlie Patino into the team because he's a more natural player, or would you be going for a couple of unorthodox senior options?
So in my hopeful lineup, you'll see that I've gone a little bit rogue. So definitely no to a Charlie Patino. I think the thing is as well, Liverpool's midfield is so workmanlike and engineering. It's a really good functioning cog. And ordinarily, it's the flair players that actually penetrate would be in our defensive third. I think what we can do is if we have better players, not better, but like players that have got more minutes in their legs in terms of their senior experience, and we might have to be a little bit creative with the system. I think that gives us a better chance. Like I see all this stuff about, and you're letting Pablo Mari go. When's Pablo Mari played this season and this sort of stuff? And I don't want to relitigate all that. But what I would say is there's players that have had a lot of minutes in where we can pick from. And I think the only way we get through the tie is picking those players with the most minutes in positions as close to what they've been playing in most of the season. And with a bit of luck, hopefully we can get through.
Fingers crossed, because we are going to have to play, Tetris with our team. It's so difficult trying to fit the different pieces in when you are missing the ones that you desperately need. And Arteta has shown time and time again to be a little bit savvy with his lineups and, create some opportunities out of positions that we didn't think we would see. I mean, putting Smith Rowe on the left-hand side, came out of really, really strong results. And we're hoping that maybe we can see some other players step up into some roles that maybe they weren't necessarily previously comfortable with. We're going to go to the lineups. We're going to start with Vinny's. Talk us through your team, mate.
So I've gone with our strongest lineup. What we would normally play, but with Odegaard dropping deeper, alongside Sambi. I was umming and ahhing about whether going with a back five because of how well we defended in the last game, and then having Sambi and Odegaard in and dropping Emil Smith-Rowe out. But I think where we're at home, I think we can really go at Liverpool. And if Odegaard can have a disciplined performance, we could be really good in this formation and really go at them. But as I said, I'm in an ahhing about whether the back five was better because they really struggled to break us down last game. Where we had the back five, they kept going central for some reason, and they really struggled to break down the likes of Holding, Gabriel, and White in the middle. And I'd be happy with a back five, or I'd be happy with this, but this formation for me could really go at them. And I do quite like Smith-Rowe in the middle and coming and getting the ball from deeper and driving forward with the ball and carrying the ball forward. But yeah, this is what I would go with. Generally, our strongest lineup minus Party sat here.
Yeah,
unless we can get him on an early flight.
Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it? Like just to get him on the private jet, get him into the line. Just a plane just landing on Holloway Road, just getting him into the team. Let's go to Lewis's team. Talk us through the anchor formation, Lewis, your new invention.
Yeah, so like I was sort of saying before, our players in the best positions that have got the most minutes this season. So Holding, White, Gabriel, they played really well in that back three. Tierney, very good at left wing back. Tomiyasu, I've heard he can play at right wing back as well. That gives us a nice solid defence. I think if you partner somebody with Sambi, that's going to be a nightmare because look what happened to Patino. I wouldn't start messing around with that. And although it's similar to sort of Vinny's in terms of having Odegaard there in midfield, I've deliberately put him in that number 10 spot. He's such a good presser. That's a real natural game to him. And I think that can create like defensive problems for them if we have Odegaard pressing hard along with Lacazette and Martinelli and Saka. And then we can allow Sambi to be the one disciplined player. What I think is also interested in this formation is if you look at White and you look at Gabriel, both are comfortable at stepping out of the back. So they can become the second, not pivot as such, but they can take that position alongside Sambi when we have the ball. And I wonder whether that might be a bit of a challenge for the midfield to see the likes of White and Gabriel stepping forward, where what they saw when they went against the back three last week was them just sitting and holding position. I also went with this because I think if we need to get a goal, I think Tavares needs to be important as one of our more attacking players. And I think you can easily take Holding out and do something interesting and get Tavares onto the pitch because we still are a little bit short. We still don't have Pepe and we still don't have Aubameyang, which basically leaves our only attacking other player, Emil Smith-Rowe. So I think this gives us a little bit of interesting options, both with minutes we have in the legs already of the players and what we can bring off the bench.
Yeah, I think that there is scope for people to kind of latch on to the shape and just see it on paper and think, oh my God, like this is terrifying. But actually, in reality, the fluidity of the team, the way that would set up when defending, when going forwards, opens it up for interpretation a lot more. So I think there is definitely credit in trying to be a bit defensive with those kind of attacking outlets. Sasha, talk us through this 11 for me, mate, because there is a big call on your half in this team.
Yeah, so we're gonna eat the elephant in the room right away. So basically, my logic with this is our back four is arguably our best part of the team so far this season. So I wouldn't change it. I would go with the back four, keep it simple, keep it safe, because that back four is going to operate well and play well. So the only other problem we have really is we don't have someone to partner Sambi. So I was thinking about who in the squad would be the best fit, and it's between two for me. It's Holding and Chambers. I don't know if Chambers is available, but it's between Holding and Chambers because I feel they are just gonna sit in front of the back four. Both are quite good on the ball. Actually, Holding isn't that bad on the ball, and he will protect Sambi more because Sambi has sometimes been vulnerable. So that's my logic with that. And then I'd have Eddie Nketiah ready, and I'd tell him he'd be on in 55 minutes because I'd be telling Lacazette to run like a madman, and he's gonna burn out quickly because he always does. So I'd be saying to Eddie, you're gonna have 40 minutes or 35 minutes, and we might need a goal from you, so be ready. And that's it.
Yeah, no, look, I have people in the chat box saying you're taking his name very seriously, putting him in holding midfield. Did Rob Holding get lost? Joe's asking there. But yeah, look, I think that it's an option. I also think that when defending, you'd see Holding probably move into that sweeper position that he was playing at Anfield that week ago. So look, I think it's an option. We're going to have to try something because we are very, very light in that area. How we've allowed this to happen. It's criminal, Vinny. It's criminal that we've let him make the last go. So yeah, look, in fairness, I think it borders on criminal now for me when we've left it this long to get it kind of a replacement. But Arsenal have had ways of, getting games cancelled. So it's not been as bad. Talking through my team, I have agreed with Vinny for the whole team lineup. Slight structural change just on paper. Sambi in that holding position, Smith Rowe and Odegaard playing in those two number 8 positions, really giving us kind of an attacking outlet. And maybe, you never know, it's hard to do this against Liverpool, but dominate the game in regards to possession and hit them with numbers, which they tend to really struggle with. I mean, I remember back to that West Ham game this season at the London Stadium where West Ham just really went for Liverpool and really got a lot from it. So I would absolutely try and go for them if we can. If it's not going too well, or if we're looking a little bit under the cosh, you can make some strategic changes. You can bring players off the bench. It is interesting that no one at all picked Charlie Patino, because I think before the Nottingham Forest game, if we'd have said that we were going to be in this predicament, I would have been interested to see how many people would have put Charlie Patino in that. So it's amazing how just that one game against Forest kind of changed people's minds about how ready he is and how open we are to seeing him in this team. None of us chose Chambers either. Marlon saying that we forgot about Chambers. Tim says Chambers played and got player of the season in that holding position for Fulham as a possible option. I know that Sasha did mention him. It was either a toss-up between Holding and Chambers, but maybe someone that we could consider. We're going to go to predictions now. So chat box is your chance to throw your prediction scorelines into the chat box. Try and get scorers in there as well. We're going to go in reverse order this time. Lewis, we start with you. Tell us what your prediction is, mate. Are you there, Lewis? Or are you buffering? I think he's buffering.
His eyes are moving.
His eyes are moving. Lewis, can you hear us? Lewis, are you okay?
I'm having real struggle. I'm having real struggle with this. Yeah, oh my word. It keeps like that. Did you go to me first, was it?
Yes, I did. I've never seen that happen. You were like looking at the screen. You weren't frozen. That was honestly, I thought we were going to have to call someone. Go on, Lewis. Tell us your prediction for the game.
I want us to be 1-0 Arsenal, but I think we will get knocked out. So I think it's going to be 1-0 Liverpool, sadly.
Scorers? Or scorer, rather. Is he gone? He might have gone. I think we might have lost him.
Look how happy he is with his prediction.
Oh, he's so happy with that. Go on, Vinny, tell us.
I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal. Saka and Martinelli to score. I'm quite confident. It is all just going to be about how that central midfield gets on. And looking at your lineup, where you've put Odegaard further forward and what Lewis said earlier with his pressing being so important, you're probably right. It is probably better for us to press from the front and really go at them. Against Man City, we looked the better team a lot of the game where we pressed them so high up and gave them problems. So, yeah, it could be interesting. But 2-1, Saka and Martinelli.
Sasha?
I'm going to go for 2-1 as well. The first goal probably, I'm going to go for Odegaard. And then a winner from Nketiah from the bench.
Oh, he loves this competition. He might come off the bench and do it. I mean, he was really poor, to be fair, when he just in those early minutes. I know he wasn't on the pitch for long, but and against Nottingham Forest, he weren't either. But maybe he can earn himself a late January transfer move. We'll have to wait and see. I'm going to go as well for 2-1. That was my prediction on Redmen TV. That's what I'm going to stick with. I think that Martinelli will get one. and Lacazette will get the other. I have a weird feeling we might go behind and then Liverpool will just sit back for some reason, but we'll wait and see what happens. It doesn't sound like Liverpool at all, but stranger things have happened. Chat box, let's see what you guys are saying. Let's scroll up to get some of those early predictions in. Rich says 1-1. Igal going for a 2-1 Arsenal win. Brad says 0-0 Arsenal on penalties. Oh, God, there could be penalties. I forgot about that. Oh, no. Peter, 2-0 to the Arsenal. Ludwig, 1-0 for the Arsenal. Temi says 2-1 for the Arsenal. Zander going 1-1 and then 2-2 in extra time and then a 5-4 win in on penalties. That would be one of the most stressful 120-odd minutes of football I've ever seen. Olivier's claiming that Lewis was just messing with us. I love that if he was. Dan says 3-0 Arsenal, Ramsdale, Laka and Saka to score, Milner to get sent off. Olivier going for a 2-0 Arsenal prediction. Jonathan saying 3-1 to the Arsenal. Tomiyasu to score his first Arsenal goal. That would be a turn up for the books, wouldn't it? Let's wrap things up there. Vinny, thank you so much, Matt, as always, for coming on the show. Tell people where they can find you.
No, thank you very much for having me on again, even though I was harassing everyone to get him on the show.
Vinny is just my Discord go-to man at this point. He just harasses everyone. Get on the show. No, you get on the show.
No, it was good to be on. It was good to be on. You can find me on Instagram, the sexy bald man. Trying to look like Freddie Ljungberg, the ginger version as much as possible. Just not the red on the hair, on the beard instead.
Lovely stuff. You can also find Vinny, of course, in the Discord server where he will pester you until you go on the show. Sasha, thank you so much, mate. Tell people where they can find you. And congratulations on your 6th TGT appearance, of course.
Thanks. Hopefully 7 next week.
Hopefully, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, look, let's be real. Vinny will be asking, so yeah.
Yeah, so they can find me in the Discord because I hope some people will join the Discord now because I need more people on my side to argue against Vinny because he's got some solid arguments sometimes, except when it comes to Granit Xhaka. Let's not go into that right now.
No, it's good. The discussions in there, 99% of them are healthy. It's great to see the community continuing to grow. And who knows? I mean, we might see some more people come in and put across some points of view that we've not considered yet. So if you are interested in becoming an expert member or a TGT ambassador, link to that is in the description. It should give you all the instructions there. You may need to do it on a laptop. Sometimes it doesn't work on your phone. And then you get access to the Discord server where you'll be able to join these guys and you get the chance to come on the show as these guys have today. Lewis, thank you so much, mate. As always, tell people they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me in the Discord. I'm not quite as active as Sasha and Vinny. Definitely not as harassing as Vinny, but it's all in good love and good fun. And you can find me on Twitter at the Ilford Pele. And apologies for my internet being so terrible and pausing. I don't know. I think Vinny's face in it came in real. My eyes apparently looked very scary by the looks of it. So apologies apologies if that put anybody in a nervous disposition. We have enough of that with Arsenal, watching them weekly.
Very true.
It weren't that. Your eyes were moving, but the rest of your body was still. It
was so weird. It was something out of a horror film.
I daren't watch it on playback.
No, it's worth it. It's worth it just to see it happen. It was, a strange phenomenon, but we got past it and we've all made it out the other side. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in and listening. Do drop a like on the video. I'll be live tomorrow morning as per at 8 a.m. with the next transfer update. We've got lots to talk about. Aubameyang loan offers. All of this, athletic stuff is going on about these this just silly thing with loans and bettings and yellow cards. We'll talk about that. And there's interesting news dropping about a possible Atletico Mineiro winger that we've now been linked to that I'm sure we'll be talking about a bit more in the morning as well. And anything else that, of course, drops between now and then. Do drop a like on the video. Do subscribe if you're new. Do join up as a member and become part of our Discord server. And like these guys, come on the show as well. We'll see you again very, very soon. And as always, up the Arsenal.